Welcome to the sands of time. Good morning, everybody, or greetings whenever you are watching this. You guys remember the sands of time? Days of our lives. These are the days of our lives. And it has like the sand, going through the apparatus. My dogs are gonna bark for a second or two because my family just came home. So enjoy that cleansing sound of dogs barking. These are the days of our lives. So funny. That's what happened during Reiki. So many really cool things came up. So I'm excited to share. It's like a sound bath. Yes. Yes, Richie. Like every time someone knocks on my door or says hello, or the doorbell or knocking on a TV show or movie. 4 dogs explode. Yeah. You made it, Jewel. Hi. Good morning, Brenda. Hi, Core. Core, what's the update on your land? Good morning, Teresa. Always a pleasure, Richie. Enjoyed your live or your recording. I don't know. Was it live? Anyways, I really liked it. I commented on it. Makes me think. You always make me think, Richie. Fogo Pogo is blurry. Good morning, Fogo Pogo. Good morning, Susan. I have to mention your family every single time I say hi. How's your family? Good morning, Randy. Hello, Donna. Rose Blue came in to cool off. You're going to move there soon, Core? Sweet. Your family's fine. Okay. I guess my family isn't home right now. But what I can do, if the barking isn't too bad, I'm going to tell you what Reiki shared with me, Spirit shared with me. Teresa says, I'm blurry today. Had a headache last night, so my eyes are weird for a day or two. Yeah. Yeah, Teresa, my kiddo. We will forgive you if you miss a comment. Those guys are going to distract me. Let me see. Are you close by? So the Reiki today. Oh, what I was going to say, Teresa, is hi, Sharon, is that, yeah, my kiddo has, oh my gosh, my phone is listening to you. Okay. In a minute, I'm going to go put them away because they're still at the chiropractor. So what I wanted to say, Teresa, is that my kiddo has migraines daily. So I feel you because we live this every day with the migraines. And yeah, it's so hard to we've been trying this medicine and that medicine, and you just have to keep trying them. We're going to chiropractors, blah, blah, blah. We'll figure it out. Jules says they feel a cold coming on. Oh my God, you leave for tarot camp on Sunday. Sweet. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Imagining good health. Yes. Yes, I am that. Okay. So I was going through the Reiki. A couple of things they showed me for the, this isn't just client specific, because I do check in with the clients that I've had. It's just a nice little, hi, how's it going? Sending a little extra boost or whatnot. So they were showing me, first of all, they said sarcophagus. Like I felt like I was in a sarcophagus. Um, so yes, sarcophagus. And I felt like I was in the sarcophagus and I could feel the, you know how like with sarcophaguses, they have different carvings and different treasures. And it's almost as if I could feel them when I was in the sarcophagus. And then I felt like, I really felt like the sarcophagus was like a traveling vessel, like a traveling vessel, which brought me to um, how death can be like a travel, like how when we fall asleep, it's a way of traveling, going on a trip. And then they showed me, hang on, I'm just going to stay with the sarcophagus thing for a second. And now they're showing me like the, what is that, a viper? Atutabakanotiama ko ashtatano a o ishewanui amako yawa. Yano yawa. Titomama ko ashama. And they're talking about the carvings of our lives or the amako shewa titomapako yawa. They don't like talking about petroglyphs because apparently that's Tatuta, that just is graffiti of sorts. But they are talking about the carvings of the sarcophagus, or like some deep meaning of a tattoo. It's like the depths of it are like the being in the Milky Way. It's not just one meaning. It's just this expansion of thinking. Like we might see a special artifact. Certain things that might, these treasures that might come into our lives that when we hold on to them, we almost get to travel. Has that ever happened to you guys where you hold on to something? And it's almost like this transportation or this vessel to a thinking, to like a vision or a feeling. Ano tiawa nuna o papa kuiwa o kamatio mako eshiwania wano yawa yewa. And it's interesting because an individual can pick it up and not have the same thing as the person right next to you, which actually reminds me of what Richie on his channel was talking about. So that's just a really interesting way to think about it. The other thing they were talking about is, again, I felt like I was inside something, and it felt like that rich, nutritious, like embiotic fluid that Terry talks about sometimes, and being in there, and also almost as if the stories or tutamakopa ushewa information being shared, it's almost like I can see myself as like an embryo, and just seeing like these the information, or in a way like symbols or stories surrounding me in the embiotic fluid. And I had to wear my DNA tree today. So while I was in the embiotic fluid, they showed me that game. Is it Cat's Cats in the Cradle or something. It's where you hold this thing in your hands and you do all these different things to make like different and people can do it with you. Like they have to carefully take it off of your hand and then they do something with it. And then you take it off and then you do the next one. And again, they were talking about death or sleeping or on journeys. It's like a trip. It's like a trip. And what an interesting way to think about. And I think that's how, wasn't that how the sarcophaguses were? Like people were going on a trip and they're like, on your trip, here, take this, take this, take this, take this. I don't have a lot of knowledge about that. Yeah, that's an interesting way to think about it. And then to finish my thought, so I went to my client list, and so I have everybody in these different columns, and so I put my hand on it, and I was sending Reiki, and they showed me the I'm not going to know the name of it. They're not going to give it to me. This, the sand. What is that thing called? It's like the timer. It's the time that the sand falls through. I'm sure it's super easy, but the word isn't coming to me. It was like the sand of time. And so I put my hand on one column of folks, and the sand, it was like, how would it feel if the sand were to slowly drain out of you? Hourglass. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. What if we put it on the hourglass and it's almost as if time escapes us? Yep. Okay. And then I went to the other column, and like, how does that feel when the sand is just seeps or slowly goes out of the hourglass entirely? And then I went to another column and it moved at a different speed, the sand. And then I went to the third column, and for some of the third column, the sand had a hard time budging. I'm going to say that. Had a hard time budging, like holding on to time. And just like the last like 3 or 4 times, it singled out one person who I don't even think is in this community. I think it was a friend of a friend. So if anybody out there knows Shelly, let them know again. This is what's going on. Yeah, and Hypnicity says, I feel an unearthing coming, discoveries waiting to be seen. Teresa says, I felt like timelines are different for each of us. That makes a lot of sense. Teresa says, bismuth, a metal, helps me to do dream meetups. That's sort of travel. Oh, a dream meetup. Oh, I like that. I remember when we did the Sunday on the sofa or the couch thing with the readers. And it was Lisa's turn, and she always did the dream stream or the dreaming. And I remember one time the homework was to meet up in dream time before the live. Of course, I forgot because I have ADD and a short attention span. So I forgot what the homework was, but it was really interesting how some people really tapped into that meeting up in the dream time. I am going to go take a moment to go put my dogs in my bedroom so we can start this without interruptions. Okay, I'll be right back. I know. Okay, that's a little bit better. A sarcophagus. Thank you for spelling that because I'm writing it and I'm like, I don't know how to spell sarcophagus. A sarcophagus is like a pod or an orb. Yeah. Interesting. Oh, where's my dragon? My dragon is in brumation. That's why the light is off in their home. I'm just going up to see what the dragon talk is about. Yeah, they have migraines daily, but their neck is really messed up. We're working with an upper cervical chiropractor and they did a 3D scan. And I think the chiropractic stuff is what's working the best. And we do have magnesium. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Hypnicity says, I find myself asking, have I met you in another timeline? Yeah, that's cool. That's neat. Look what Richie said. I remember that on one of the dream streams, the four of you were in my dream representing an aspect of myself. I love that. Sharon likes to watch sand change shapes and look different in the moment. Yeah. Okay, well, let's see where they want to take us. Thank you for saying that, Randy. That has been on my mind, the cranial sacral, for the nervous system. Yeah. Okay, so definitely put in, if you feel called to, go ahead and put in some things you're working on, pain-wise, or sky's the limit for things that you want to bring in today. Okay, we're just going to go ahead and start. Ako tiana maku. Cobra. Is cobra and viper are two different. Cobra is the one that has the things, right, on the head. Like, is cobra the one that's like the typical one that's like in the meow, 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 that one? Knee pain for Susan. Yeah, and the people with fires and the smoke and the displacement too. I'm going to add them to the list of prayers. And they are talking about existence. Anutiano pa yeao shewa ya mama shinyao mawa. Yo mama koshewa. And how it's different for each. Oh, tutiano nyako ye panu ya ma shewa ya mai ayawa makoyewa. Yano ako pa ma shewa. Bringing in again that we're each like our own color of thread. Ato pa pa ko pa mama shewa, but in like this great weaving. Atotama kotiama koshewa. Like if you were a certain color of thread. Topapa koyama she matthew ya wa kianutio makoye taoshe mayewa. Like if you're passing by a purple or a red, like Totama yewa shimatiwa wawakaye yanui. A different sound, a different feeling, a different frequency. Katuti, 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 katuti. And they're saying, imagine that you are a type of thread. Are you multicolored? Kotano kya? Yano tiama koshewa. Are you the kind that's spun soft? Otiapa oka yewa. Ano tako yewa. Yano tiama koshewa. Explore your thread. Yano tako yama tupako aewa. They're laughing about spinning a yarn and bringing in that game again, like the cat's cradle. How great fun. Where you take like the stretchy string around your fingers and you create something, and then you pass it off to the next person, and then they create something different. And how interesting that is. Ya ota getianu manua yewa pako papa ntopa ya ntia makushiwa. Tutono mamak yawa. Yatoka nana kia pano papa kashiwa. And they're talking about if you were asked to draw an item, like how different everybody's rendition would be of that item. Ako anutio ma titia anoko. Nyantano tako a yewa, yewa, yewa. Siutono babakobaka ashaba. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and say it. It's like how we're these, again, another thing they're saying is like we're each a raindrop. But like when someone's flushing the toilet, we're all doing like one thing at the same time, even though we're individuals. It's again going on a trip, going on a journey, traveling. So this piece of thread or yarn, or however it is that you see it, just really tap into that and see, like, relax into it and just think of investigating your thread, your yarn. Kuta onaka. And they're talking about how when we do pass by, how they were saying, like when we pass by other colors or if we pass by different timelines, is it like the gifts for the sarcophagus, where some of those get stamped, or I'm going to go with stamped in our yarn as like tutako mako ushumatiama titi tana tutana mako ashtatano tiawa anatina mamako pa ushawa anutiama yatyaku, about like passing the others, anutiamako pa, the other of ourselves, like passing by different timelines of us. And they say the words are limited, but this is the idea of passing our other timelines. And gathering stamps. Totamakoshewa, like an indent or an imprint. And they're showing me like a dragon. You guys are talking about a dragon. So I see like dragon in wood stamped. It's like the passport and getting stamps where you go. Ma'oto. And how fun it is to travel. Anoka, yeapatu amapakota ntakawa. And they're asking, what's your favorite way of traveling? Anotupa, anotupa. And they're talking about the umbilical cord again. A cord, matuta kuaiwa, information being passed like a highway. Matuti katota kashewa yenata, from the mother to the child. Titata mauki yenata makupa urshewa. And different ways of communicating. Kutatakunatu, or giving and receiving information. Kualtukama pako pako yewa. Atupa upa. And if I were to go hiking, and I had like all of my things with me, they're talking about how heavy we feel, where traveling can be difficult, more challenging. I just feel like there's a lot of weight on my back. And they're showing me a turtle, and they were just like, um, they're like, what if the turtle were to stand on the back legs and try to walk? That would feel like a weight. That would feel awkward. That would be difficult if you were hiking, like if a wind came up, or just being not balanced. And you're like, why doesn't the turtle just, get closer to the ground and walk on four? Um, Atopako pano, atotako na tia tiano, amapako na tiawa. And they're talking about slowing things down. For some of the times we need to slow down. Autotakona, because they are talking about the cobra and how the cobra has the things out here. And they're talking about the turtle standing up, where it's also almost like how a parachute drags or catches. Let's see what they're saying. Kutitama patoti. Patuti. It's like it's neither good nor bad. It just is. Anotopa patuti ta unka ma shewa ti pamamamanko shewa. Sometimes people pull a parachute sooner than others. Titoma koti ba, the adventure seekers might wait a little bit more to pull the slowing mechanism. Pa onkoti ma titon onkopa ushtana tia mako. Yanotia mako yuwa. And look at your thread or the yarn or the entwinement of yourself, and just check, is it frayed? And it's okay if it's frayed, because that might slow us down, or it shows that there's been some traveling. Kutanuka, you can't wear your favorite sweater like every day and expect it to be the same. There will be some fraying. Kuta kunya matieva. Anotunuma mamako patutita. Yanotiama kushewa. They would like to, if you guys are up for it, they'd like to share Panuto pakokanu, like the individual stamps or information. And however it is that you receive this is going to be different for everybody. Pa'o ka tota, anatia no mama ko yawa nuya, yati tuma bako sheba yeni tama pao ko yawa. So, patota, cobra's coming in again. Utito pama uyawa noita, au kuya matiama tuyawa. He's suggesting, she is suggesting, as we go through this and go through that, picking up pieces here and there, like the timeline reference. Anotya paku yawa. And do the stamps need to be a little deeper for the shedding? Tutano tititama, like for the allowing for some fray in the thread. Pa'oko o tatama ko oshewa, like a deeper layer of us, like the spine of us. Tututoma kotita ntakonata. It's a lot of Egyptian type stuff coming. Atutoma tiawa. So just being still, if it's possible. Panatuya pawa. Just in the distance, see or feel the stamp of patota okama of information. Tita amataku a remembering. Ko tita namama ko shawa. Some of them feel like branding. Maybe didn't feel so good. Ma tututo ma ko iwapa ko shawa. Yanutiama. Aotu iyawa. Anutiawa. They're talking about how a stamp can help us travel, but the letter needs to be opened. Tutano mama kotita, otita, otita. Yanu pa nui. For some, if you were to close your eyes, open up the imagination to see if you were looking at the land in front of you. What does the land, like the horizon, look like from where you are, the advantage point, to further away? What does it look like? Or however you're seeing, just investigate and like actually turn your head to look around if it's possible. They are saying ride the cobra, travel with the cobra. Ko ama ko ta otiama ko eshewa nui. Patuma patiduma ko shewa, because it's easy to slip. Pakotama and slide. Titinama in between this and that, but the head is always looking. It's safe to travel with the cobra. Matititoka pakona, tianoka, 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 tianoka. We can go over and in the rocks, through the rocks. Yatitoma pako ashiwa tianawe shewa, winding around this, winding around time. Pakuyawa yewa. And see the cobra going into the infinity sign. Pantoye aua ye iti tamao shewi. Anue tamaye taokai tamakupa ishewa. And seeing the information, tuyama, tuyama, tuyama. And then slow down. I'm asking about cobra medicine. There's so many different ways to procure a medicine from a thing. There's the venom. There's the scales. The totem of the animal. All the different parts, if they're making a tincture or a salve, or offering it in the fire to the elders. Atutakona, tatakuna, tatakuna, tatakuna. Amakopa tietiano, tatobako tiawa. They are saying that I see the cobra slithering over sand, and then they showed me the cobra swallowing or devouring the sand and how different that feels. Pa kotya, mako eshewa, the sand inside would feel heavy, not easy to digest, something that's not that nutritious. But sand could be good for a snake to like go fast over. Patupako awa mako eshamatiwa, anotano tiawa. But sometimes the easy way makes us a little bit more vulnerable too. For a snake to be on the sand would mean to be seen by the hungry ones. And they're asking, have we swallowed some of the sand? Interesting how they were talking about the hourglass and releasing the sand and how it feels good. In a way, releasing our thoughts about time. Patuka. Patuka. Makotiama tiawa o shamatiawama wa yetwa. If we were full of the sand, full of the time, atutakona, and we slowly released it. They're saying it's kind of difficult to get rid of all of the sand because of the dust. Pa'ota onataka yetita taka natiama ko ishewanui. If we released the sand, in a way would become they're showing me like what I would think would be like the universe or the galaxy and the stars. Does the perception of what's in our hourglass or what we have devoured if we pass it on through, um, does that help us like expand and totamako pa'usha like experience the universe? Ano tako ayawa, and those are just my limited words for what they're showing me. Kutepa tiano, tanayama, yatata. So when you're outside or when you're inside and you're barefoot, um, really feel into your feet about releasing perceptions. Tatu taku yawa. So as I'm asking, like, so releasing the sand, but what about like the core of us, like the thread and how it's frayed on the outside? And, but is there still um, the thing that was protected on the inside? And they're saying, no, pa matu pa ko tamako iwa. You are nothing and you are everything. Almost as if we take all of the sand out of the hourglass, it's not like it's not filled with something. It's like you let it all go. You may not understand like what's inside the hourglass, but it's not like there's nothing in there. It's like you're nothing and you're everything. What do you guys think about all this? It confuses me. Jewel is saying when they were looking out, they saw green and sky. I was seeing it from grass level. That's interesting, Jewel, because when I was looking out, I felt like I was on a different planet. I didn't see any green, but I was looking at it like if I was on a precipice or higher up. It kind of like if I would think about Mars, it kind of felt like a planet of Mars. And it was all like um, not exactly, it's like a combination of Joshua Tree and Sedona, um, but without the vegetation, if that makes any sense. And I saw like the sun was not high up in the sky, it was just the glow of it that I could see. It hadn't um, risen, I guess is the best way to say that. When you guys were looking out, or just share whatever, even if it's you didn't get anything, that's okay too. Um, Randy says, tattered or not, it would still be my favorite sweater. Yeah, this is interesting. This is what Teresa says. And manifesting the speed of time. Oh my God, hypnicity. Another sarcophagus. And I love how the turtle shell does have like the stamps in it. You know, they have like their imprints. Interesting. Pardon me, but do you have any Grey Poupon as you're passing the other threads? Leah says, perfect as the feminine is being restored. We create as we go. Hypnicity says, perspective is very individual, yet can be very collective as well. Yeah. Different truths, all valid. And that brings me to, I don't know if you guys have seen what Richie said on his channel. Different truths, all valid. And Jewel says, braided different colors, each separate but connected. Beautiful. Rossi says, I need motivation, low energy, and procrastination. And then the knees and the back. Isn't that interesting? Because the knees help us go forward or bend or do all of those things. And then the back is support. I also have motivation, low energy, procrastination. Rossi, they're showing me like a seed that sprouted, and they're like, it might seem like things aren't moving or whatnot, but the seed is still doing its thing, almost as if it seems slow and things aren't coming along in a way, they're like, in a way, kind of like be at peace, I guess is how I would describe it, because things are still moving along. I wonder if a sprout and a turtle had a race, who would win? So Jewel says, when the sands, let's see, when the sands have left the hourglass, it's an orb, a sarcophagus. Nice. And Hypnicity says, there's something to be said for being still. Sharon says, ride the cobra protective. It feels expansive to me, neither here nor there, in between. Beautiful. Core says, I was recalling the time I was with the stars, oneness with the universe while outside of a sweat lodge ceremony. Amazing. Leah says, my turtle has a rose pattern on her shell. Richie says, when I was riding the cobra, the message I got was, we are our own healer and poison. Very, very cobra-y. Oh, I got the goosebumps on my back. We are our own healer and poison. I got goosebumps everywhere. Teresa says, it was nighttime and the sky was dark purple. The mountains were blue. That actually sounds really pretty. Jewel says, my blue sky had no sun, but a pale blue of hazy or a thin veil of clouds. Richie said, I saw open meadows with rolling hills and pine trees behind me. Hypnicity says, fill your hourglass with whatever works for you. These are great. Teresa says, we are even outside of space, time, and matter. Hypnicity said, possibilities. Yeah. Rossi says that makes sense. We can hurt ourselves and heal our trauma. Yeah. Wow. Kind of makes you think, huh? I'm glad you guys were here because I like the things that you're saying, the input. I'm asking if they have any more to share. They say, imagine the great turtle shell, and how if you were to feel the turtle shell and all of its beautiful ridges and stories and bumps and bruises and things they were born with. Some things, tupamaku, the turtle shell picks up some things as it's traveling, like the scrapes and this and that. Totagontia no ma oshabatia no tabako yawama ko ewa ma paku apaku yawanui apaku ishiwa. Anu toma mama kupa papaka yawanui. Anu mama tiewa. And they're showing me, this is probably just some programming in my mind, but when things we see about the Mayans, or like the movies with archaeologists or whatnot, like Tomb Raider, it's almost as if you look at the turtle shell, and I can see like melted is the right word. It's like an alchemy, like for me, I'm seeing silver liquid, like traveling through the turtle's shell. Pato pako yama yato makoya wa yena pa makoshewa. Sometimes it might feel like it's a maze with, oops, I went the wrong way. Pato pako mako atatama koshewa, but they're saying that the liquid, the fluidity, could do several things. It could build up, 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 and like spill over the ridge. However, the other ways, could be that it pulls up enough that it might travel backwards a little bit, depending on how the ridges are of our lives. Matupa atita makoka. Yano tiama ko patita nui ka oshawa nui. Patma ko ana diawa. Cobras and timelines, turtles and imprints. Yes, I love when sand is magnified. It's little gems and shells and crystals. It's so interesting. Everything we need is within, Hypnicity says. And Core shares this, learning to take the positive learn from trauma. Rossi says, careful of your thoughts and what you say. I think I manifested a change in my job within 24 hours. I was speaking it with my coworker. Yes. Yeah. I've witnessed that a couple of times. Teresa says, Rossi, yes, we must mind the seeds we plant because they grow fast these days. And then Jewel says, yes, like a little universe. This is great. Planting seeds, Randy says. Hypnicity says, behold the turtle, for he only makes progress by sticking his neck out. I love you guys. This has been fantastic. When I was going around the infinity sign, the figure 8, I got dizzy. I got really dizzy. They say that's it for today. Nothing more to share. It's just a different, maybe a different approach to things. I probably will go down a rabbit hole searching sarcophagus, travel, cobras, timelines. Um, Sharon says, takes me to ancient civilizations and the beauty. Yeah, the beauty and the rituals. Richie says, just had a vision that each element that was spoken about was an aspect of life: the snake, the healer, the turtle, life, and the sand, our path. Annie, when you watch this, if you get a chance to watch this, does this like spark any writings or artwork? Like the elements and the aspects of life. I imagine my breath moving in a figure eight sometimes. That feels good. Susan says, oop. Never got anywhere. Oh my God, that's hilarious. Maybe we're supposed to be like a butterfly. Yeah. I like how butterflies can seem so dainty and fragile, but they're also, I feel like they're really strong as well. All right, everybody, you guys take care. Just a little commercial. We do have on the 10th, if you go to freebirdspirit.com, Debbie does have the link for the healing ceremony. It costs $5, lasts about an hour, and it's with some of my favorite people from our community. Terry does a really beautiful job of welcoming people in, and a meditation, and then Kevin has chosen music that helps us really relax as well. And then everybody uses their own modality, whether it's shamanism or trance meditation, trance healing, or mediumship. Those all things are woven in the healing ceremony. So if anybody feels like they would benefit from that or are curious about it, go to freebirdspirit.com. It's on the 10th. And yeah, it's not something that's recorded, so you actually need to show up at that time. So if that time doesn't work, maybe wait for the next one. And yeah, so fun being curious with you guys today. And I'll see you guys soon. Bye.